The relationship between Superman and Supergirl is very brother and sister, very bickering cousins, if you want to say, but at the same time, they love each other. I think that they both learn from each other. Like, he's having to catch up on the speed to Earth, what's acceptable there, and at the same time, she's always reminding him about where he came from. So she grounds him. She's like, you may know all this about your new planet, you may have these special powers now, but you need to remember that you once did not have these powers, and that our home planet, is no longer there. So she really is the reality check to Superman. So for her, having to kind of blend in, it's always a struggle, because she always kind of, especially now that she has these new powers, she's always wanting to go around and save people and make sure that what happened to her doesn't happen to these people. She really has a lot of empathy, and I really like that human side of her. Whereas she seems very tough, but under all that, she's really fighting this terror that she feels when she's having to save someone, because she understands the consequences. Well, I think my favorite thing about the Superman script, especially the Supergirl script, is that all the characters have their own specific stories, but at the end, they all come together and are cohesive. And that's what I really look for in a script, is if at the end, not everything gets tied with a pretty little bow, and there can be a continuation, but that everything and every character comes together. It's a big honor to be able to represent Supergirl for the first time. And for me, I think that she represents all teen girls. She's very confident, and the strongest force of change in the world is a girl. So really, that's kind of what I just keep saying to myself, is that she really has the ability and will impact the world. And that's kind of what I thought, is that she knows that she has that confidence and that exuberance and that life inside her that she wants to share and she wants to teach. I would like to think that Supergirl and I are similar in a lot of ways, so getting into her mindset was relatively easy to get into it. I spent some time really looking at her backstory and how she's grown over the years, and especially with her relationship with Superman, her relationship with Brainiac, and everything as a whole. So no, she was a joy to experience, and I'm looking forward and hoping to bring it back again. I'd like to say that we're both confident. We both have that little bit of sarcastic sense of humor, very feisty, and that's probably the number one thing between Supergirl and I, is we're both very feisty and have a sense of right, a very strong sense of right. I'm only human, maybe one day I'll feel invincible in something, but I like being vulnerable. I like being able to take things in and experience them just the way that they're supposed to happen. And I think part of Supergirl's invincibility is more of a barrier, more of a wall, so she doesn't really have to always feel the hurt and all those things that she has buried deep down inside, but eventually those things are going to come out.